The AMX, known in Brazilian service as the A1, occupies a unique place in the history of Brazil's air power. It is the only jet combat aircraft Brazil has ever helped design and build, the only indigenous strike platform to serve for more than 3 decades, and a symbol of the country's early ambitions to create a real national aerospace industry. Today, however, the AMX stands at the edge of retirement. Even after undergoing a significant modernization into the A1M standard, the aircraft is in its twilight years. Its upcoming withdrawal from service reflects not only the aging of a single airframe, but the evolution of Brazil's strategic priorities, industrial capabilities, and the broader transformation of warfare itself. To understand why the AMX once mattered so much to Brazil, it is necessary to return to the late 1970s and early 1980s. At that time, Brazil needed a modern ground attack aircraft to replace aging platforms and support a doctrine centered on territorial defense and interdiction missions. The solution was a partnership with Italy, where Aermacchi and Aeritalia cooperated with Embraer to design a light strike aircraft capable of flying low, penetrating defended airspace, and delivering precision ordnance at low cost. For Brazil, this project was more than procurement. It was an industrial milestone. It opened the door for Embraer to accumulate expertise in aerodynamic design, systems integration, and production of military jet structures. Although modest in comparison to modern jets, the AMX represented a profound leap for a country still building its aerospace base. In operational service, the AMX quickly proved to be a dependable workhorse. It excelled in low-altitude strike, reconnaissance, and close air support. Brazilian AMXs took part in major international exercises, including Red Flag in the United States, where they showcased their ability to fly low-level attack profiles with notable survivability. In South America, the aircraft became central to missions involving border security, deterrence, and tactical reconnaissance. 2 main squadrons carried forward this legacy: Esquadrão Centauro, focused on strike operations, and Esquadrão Poker, responsible for reconnaissance with advanced sensor pods. The AMX demonstrated its value in countless deployments, from monitoring remote regions to participating in multinational exercises such as Cruzex. It became a backbone of tactical aviation during a period when Brazil lacked a more advanced multi-role fighter. As the aircraft aged, Brazil sought to extend its service life. This led to the A1M modernization program, which was more ambitious than many expected. The upgrade introduced a radar with modern air-to-ground modes, new avionics, digital systems, an updated cockpit compatible with night vision goggles, modern navigation equipment, and enhanced survivability. It integrated targeting pods such as the Lightning III and enabled the aircraft to employ precision-guided munitions, including the indigenous MAR-1 anti-radiation missile. Structurally, the upgrade aimed to extend the airframe life toward approximately the year 2032. On paper, the A1M renewal appeared to guarantee another decade of relevance. However, the modernization program collided with a harsh reality. Only a small number of airframes were in sufficiently good condition to receive the upgrade. Out of the original fleet of 56 AMXs, only about 10 to 12 aircraft were structurally strong enough to continue operating after modernization. As these numbers dwindled, the viability of maintaining the type as a meaningful combat capability came into question. Despite receiving advanced systems and renewed avionics, the aircraft simply existed in too few numbers to fulfill the broader mission set it once carried. Signs of retirement began appearing years before the official decision. By late 2024, Esquadrão Centauro, one of the iconic AMX squadrons based in Santa Maria, ended its operations. The remaining aircraft were consolidated under Esquadrão Poker. In 2025, as Brazil carried out Operação Atlas in the Amazon, the A1M still flew real operational missions, demonstrating that even in its late years the aircraft had tactical utility. Yet these deployments did not disguise the fact that the AMX fleet had shrunk to a symbolic remnant of its former self. Although still flying and capable, it was no longer sustainable as a dedicated combat force. The decision to retire the AMX early stems from several structural and strategic factors. Chief among them is budget prioritization. Brazil is fully committed to the Gripen E and Gripen F program, which represents the future of the nation's combat aviation. Maintaining two separate types of jet combat aircraft, each with its own logistics chain, support requirements, and training demands, was no longer feasible. Concentrating resources on the Gripen ensures long-term consistency, survivability, and modernization. The aging airframes also play a decisive role. Many AMX structures no longer have the endurance required for safe or efficient operation. Even with modernization, the escalating cost of keeping aging platforms airworthy becomes an economic burden. Coupled with the small remaining fleet size, the cost-benefit equation tilts decisively toward retirement. Another factor is the shift in mission priorities. The AMX once excelled in deep strike, tactical reconnaissance, and suppression of enemy air defenses, particularly through the MIR-1 missile. However, modern air combat emphasizes networked sensors, advanced electronic warfare, beyond visual range weapons, and multi-domain coordination. Even the upgraded A1M cannot fully integrate into these emerging systems. The roles the AMX once filled are increasingly being reassigned. Tactical reconnaissance is transitioning to drones and advanced pods on Gripen, while strike operations will rely on the Gripen's multi-role capabilities and future standoff weapons. Lower-intensity missions, once handled by AMX, are increasingly performed by the A-29 Super Tucano, which is cheaper to fly and better suited to long-duration border patrols. Despite this, the retirement of the AMX leaves a noticeable capability gap. Brazil temporarily loses a dedicated strike aircraft optimized for low-altitude penetration and precise ground attack. The transition period, until sufficient numbers of Gripen aircraft are operational, will require careful management. Discussions about acquiring used F-16 aircraft from the United States have surfaced multiple times as a way to mitigate this gap. Although the F-16 would increase Brazil's fighter numbers quickly, it would also impose substantial new maintenance and integration costs. More importantly, it would split resources away from the long-term Gripen program. For this reason, the Brazilian Air Force has shown caution in considering the F-16 as anything more than a temporary bridge solution. The AMX's legacy, however, cannot be measured only by its current withdrawal. The program shaped Embraer's evolution into one of the world's most respected aerospace companies. Technologies mastered during AMX development laid groundwork for later successes, including the A-29 Super Tucano and the KC-390 Millennium Airlifter. The industrial cooperation with Italy also established patterns of international defense collaboration that continue to benefit Brazil today. In many ways, the AMX served as the foundation upon which Brazil built its modern defense aviation identity. The aircraft's Twilight marks the end of a significant chapter in Brazilian aviation history. From missions over the Amazon to low-level strike runs and international exercises, the AMX fulfilled roles that shaped generations of pilots and engineers. Its retirement reflects strategic adaptation, not failure. As Brazil moves into a new era defined by advanced fighters, integrated sensors, and multi-domain operations, the AMX leaves behind a legacy of ingenuity, ambition, and practical effectiveness. In its final years, it stands as a reminder that national capacity is built step by step, through programs that push boundaries and lay the foundation for future achievements. The AMX may be fading from the flight line, but its impact will remain deeply embedded in the structure of Brazil's air power for decades to come.